I feel like we all just need to take a moment and take a deep breath because January and February are both finally over. The sun is out, I got a fresh haircut, and I feel great. I'm filming this on March 1st. It's a brand new month. I'm going to share some of my books that I plan on reading for this month of March. Last month, I created a game for myself, Play Jenga, to choose what book I'm going to read. So how this is going to work is that every single Jenga piece has a book that's on my physical TBR. I have more books than Jenga pieces, and I purchased a few books since I created Jenga. So a few blocks have multiple books, and if I lose, the piece that I pulled is the book that I will be reading for the month. If a piece that I pulled is a book that I've already read, I get to choose what I want to read from my physical TBR. So it's kind of like a freebie since I already read that book. We're gonna do this 2 times. So I'm gonna play Jenga twice to see what 2 books I'm going to be reading in the month of March. I already have 8 books on my TBR, and we'll talk about my entire March TBR after I'm done choosing these books. So let's play Jenga. Already? Oh no. Does that count? Does that count? Technically, I think it does. Husbands by Holly. I don't know the last name, but I know the book. Looks like that's the book. Okay, that wasn't very fun, so I'm gonna do it 2 more times. So I'll be picking 3 books. Let's try this again. I feel like I need to reshuffle. I wanted to find a way to gamify my TBR. I tried out the TBR jar a few times and I just didn't find it as fun. I wanted an activity that I could do to help me pick my TBR that was still a little randomized, which is why I thought to build a Jenga TBR game out of it. So, I don't know. It's my game, my rules. All right. Playing for the second book. The first time I played last month, I was so good at this game. I feel like not so much anymore. Oh wait, I'm so dumb. I'm supposed to be putting them up top again. It's like I forgot how to play. There we go. There we go. Yikes. This is gonna topple over. Oh no, look at this. I'm a goner. Okay, it's gonna fall. This is it. This is the one that I touched. Dissonance by Sean Hamill. I'm not sure if I want to read it, but it's chosen. All right, we're gonna choose 1 more book and call it good, because then that would be 11 books for the month of March. I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do if I don't read that book. Like if I don't read the book, do I unhaul it? Do I put it back on my TBR? Do I give it to somebody? Shoot, I don't know. I think we'll see. I'll talk about it in my wrap up, what I decide for March. Because I don't think it's fair for me to not read the book and then put it back, because the whole point of this is to read through my TBR, my physical TBR, and get through the books that I own. But also, some books are just not books that I want to read for the season. I'm definitely a mood reader. One more time. May the best book win. Or lose, I guess. Just not having a good day. Oh, I keep forgetting I need to put it back on top. This is embarrassing. Oh no. Did you see that? This is so wonky. Long Live Evil by Sarah Reese Brennan. We've got our 3 books. I'm gonna go grab the rest of the stack, and then let's quickly talk about the books I plan on reading in March. We have Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. This is a sequel in the Legendborn cycle. I unfortunately will not be done with this by the time Oathbound comes out the first week of March. But I'm making my way through my reread. I'm listening to the audiobook, and I'm almost done with Legendborn, so then I can move on to this one. Highly recommend this series. It's so good. And I recommend if I'm rereading it. Land of Milk and Honey by C. Pam Zhang. This is my in-person book club at Rainy Day Books. It is the Lit Fix Happens book club, and this is a dystopian society story about a woman who is finding pleasure. It says, one woman's discovery of pleasure alters her life and indirectly the world. After a spreading smog leads to a food storage, a talented chef escapes a mountaintop community of the uber rich. And then she ends up moving from intimate longing of dangerous questions about the ethics of privilege and wealth. Land of Milk and Honey is a rapturous story about the transformative powers of pleasure and of one woman embracing her own appetite. Tiny, but I think it's going to be one that I will remember for quite some time. First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, my very first B.K. Borison book. I'm so excited. I've heard this book is perfect. This is supposed to be very similar to Sleepless in Seattle. I've never watched Sleepless in Seattle, but I've heard that I would like it. It says a hopeless romantic meets a demoralized radio host in this cozy Sleepless in Seattle inspired love story. That's all I'm gonna read. I'm going to actually include this in a reading vlog, so stay tuned. Husbands by Holly Gramazio. I've had this book for a long time, April of 2024. So this is the first pick that Jenga selected, I suppose by chance, really. And it's about time that I read this book. From what I know, this is a story about a woman who finds a new husband that shows up from her attic. Do you take this man? No. What about this one? When Lauren returns home to her flat in London late one night, she's greeted at the door by her husband, Michael. There's only one problem. She's not married. She's never seen this man before in her life, but according to her friends, her much improved decor and the photos on her phone, they've been together for years. It's a brilliant story that explores how we navigate life, love, and choice in a world of never-ending options. Interesting. Should be good. The Dissonance by Sean Hamill. This copy looks weird because it is a arc that I received from Pantheon back in July of 2024. I don't even remember what it's about. I honestly don't feel like reading this in March. Seems like a story that would be perfect for October, but we'll see if I get to it and I'm in the mood. It says, it's an epic contemporary fantasy, a mixture of The Magicians and It, a story of dark magic, terrible mistakes, and second chances. You can never go home again, the saying goes, but Hal, Athena, and Aaron have to. In high school, the three were students of the eccentric Professor Marsh, trained in a secret system of magic known as a dissonance. Maybe this does sound interesting, which harnesses negative emotions, alienation, anger, and pain until something happened that shattered their coven, and then they have to go back to their hometown. It's supposed to be a beautifully written story of magic, monsters, forgiveness, and friendship. I think I judge a book by its cover. Maybe I will enjoy reading this book. We'll see. Long Live Evil by Sarah Reese Brennan. This was the third book that Jenga picked. The second one was Dissonance. This is a book that I recently got. It was the end of last year when I got it from Barnes & Noble. This is supposed to be a story where a girl falls into her favorite fantasy series, and so she plays a part in her series, but turns out she's the villain. How fun is that? I did say that I wasn't going to start a new series until I finish a series that I've been working on, but I must do what Jenga says to do. So I'm going to read this book. I'm excited. I feel like not a lot of people have talked about Long Live Evil, and this is the first in a series. I know that the second one is coming out sometime this year, so hopefully I will like it. I do have a few ebooks that I plan on reading. One of them I received an ARC from the publisher. It's The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. It is the Fable book club pick for the month of March for my book club. We read books. Link is down below. Already told you my spiel, but our group decided that we wanted to read a thriller horror story, and this sounds perfectly just that. It is a gripping page-turner novel set in Jim Crow, Florida that follows Robert Stevens Jr. as he is sent to a segregated reform school that is a chamber of terrors where he sees the horrors of racism and injustice for the living and the dead. Sounds perfect, relevant, not perfect, but I've heard it's really good. I've heard it's perfect. It sounds like it's going to hit hard. And it sounds like a book that I'm really going to enjoy, but also add a little bit of that historical aspect into the story. I'm very excited to read it with my book club, and I will have a dedicated reading vlog for The Reformatory. And then a book that I'm buddy reading with Logan is Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. I did start this. I'm 2 chapters in, and it seems gory. It's like a dark academia with romance, gothic vibes. It's about our main character. She watches her mom have this illness that has to do with worms, and her mom passes away, and the main character, she is on a mission to find a cure and figure out what this illness is because no one knows about it, and she feels like she's going a little bit crazy. She gets accepted into this fancy school called the Dracadia University, one of the oldest, most prestigious schools in the country. And once she gets there, she also meets Dr. Death. He is a pathologist professor in charge of the Midnight Lab. And I think not only is there going to be romance involved, but also they're going to work together to figure out what the secret is. It already sounds very interesting from what I've read. Like I said, I've only read 2 chapters, but it sounds right up my alley, and I am excited to read it with Logan. The last book that I plan on reading for the month of March is an ARC that I received by the publisher. I have the e-version. It is Left of Forever by Tara DeWitt. Never read anything by Tara DeWitt, and I'm really excited because a few people who have already read this said that it's perfect. And I need to find another adjective because that's all I keep saying. This is an emotional, spicy, second chance romance. I'm so excited. It says, this time they'll get it right. Ren and Ellis fell in love as kids, had their son Sam when they were only teenagers, and built a life together in a coastal town of Spruance, Oregon. They were made for one another until they fell apart. Now they're divorced, they're 30, and I'm just gonna stop right there because I don't need to know more. I just need to know it's a second chance romance and I'm going to love it. I also love that our characters are in their 30s. I'm turning 32 in August. I need more stories where characters are my age. And I'm glad this is it. Well, friends, those are the 11 books that I plan on reading. Did I count right? Yes, 11 if I do include getting a chance to read Oathbound. We'll see. Highly unlikely, but maybe I'll be reading a lot in March. I will see you in a video next week. Have a great day. Bye.